Hello friends, today we study about digital payment system. And so digital payment system can be classified of a real time in which settlement is done at a real time, that is then it is called a real time digital payment system. And in real time service provided by the IMPS, that is immediate payment services, and by RTGS, that is real time gross settlement. And if the settlement is delayed settlement, then we have the following service providers such as National Electronic Fund Transfer, stands for NEFT, and we have National Electronic Clearing Services, NECS, and after that we have NACH service, which is acronym for National Automated Clearing House, and card systems such as Visa, MasterCard, and RuPay. So to use such services, Narasimha Second Committee in 1998 suggested that you should have a Payment and Settlement Act. So Narasimha Second Committee in 1998 suggested a digital payment ecosystem, and upon these suggestion we have the Payment and Settlement Act 2007, which is governed by RBI, which is supervised by RBI, and all system providers should have to register under the Payment and Settlement Act 2007, and bank can access directly these services, but whereas non-banks have to tie up with the member banks. So these services can be provided by using a application program interface called Unified Payment Interface. It is a program interface which can use to provide services such as immediate payment service, which can transfer money in real time on 24/7 hours, at any 24/7 hour. And we have then if we can use using this API NACH services also, which is National Automated Clearing House. And so for example of these APIs are as SBI developed an app called SBI Buddy to transfer money in real time using SBI Buddy app, which use IMPS service, and under which they use Unified Payment Interface. And similarly, Axis Bank developed Axis Pay, and a non-banking entity that Flipkart developed and Phone Pay, with the collaboration of Yes Bank. So this is about the various digital payment systems we have available. It is important to learn the acronym of these services, such as what is IMPS, it is immediate payment service. What is RTGS, is it real time gross settlement. What is NEFT, National Electronic Fund Transfer. What is NECS, it is National Electronic Clearing Services. And what is NACH, that is National Automated Clearing Houses, and various card systems. So we have the question, which of the following acronym is correctly matched? The first is IMPS. Isn't it instant money payment service? Wrong, because it is immediate instead of it is not instant but immediate money payment service. Then second is B. NEFT stand for Net Electronic Fund Transfer. No, it is National Electronic Fund Transfer. And next, United Payment Interface. No, it is Unified Payment Interface. And the last one, D part, the RTGS, is it stands for real time gross settlement. Exactly, it is real time gross settlement. And now we will understand what is a NEFT, National Electronic Fund Transfer. NEFT is is a settlement system where large number of transactions are accumulated and offset against each other, with only the net difference is being transferred at the end of a given settlement cycle. Means suppose in SBI bank at 8 to 7 p.m. if one customer is came that wants to transfer 5 lakh rupees to his client which have account in Axis Bank. So this settlement is not done at instantly. Instead, and suppose another customer that wants to transfer 5 lakh rupees in transfer in his client which have also an Axis Bank account. So he deposited 5 lakh at his parent bank, and similarly is customer one came into Axis Bank and want to transfer 5 lakh rupees to a client which have account in SBI. So these kind of settlement, and again customer 2 in Axis Bank have came to transfer money to his father which have account in SBI. So this settlement is not done at instantly. If suppose these customer are came between the time 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. so at the 9 p.m. the total of these will be calculated at SBI side, and total of customers at Axis Bank are accumulated. So in this calculation, the total 10 suppose 10 lakhs is transferred to the Axis Bank, and 8 lakh rupees have to be transferred to the SBI Bank. Then if we calculate in this, SBI will not send the 10 lakh rupees by electronic mean, or nor Axis Bank send the 8 lakh rupees to SBI Bank. Instead, they just calculate the net difference, and that difference is sent by the another. So in this case, only the 2 lakh rupees is transferred to the Axis Bank account. This is called the National Electronic Fund Transfer. So it is a settlement system where large number of transactions are accumulated and option against each other, with only the net difference being transferred at the end of a given settlement cycle. So who develop these services? So NFT is governed by the developed by the RBI, and we have another RTGS system. In digital payment we can do the digital transactions, and another we have IMPS, which is developed by the NPCI, stands for National Payment Corporation of India, or in Hindi वेगस भारतीय राष्ट्रीय भुगतान निगम. So availability of an NFT is weekdays, and whereas and availability of RTGS is also the weekdays, but IMPS service is available 24/7 means 365 days. And what is the minimum amount that can be transferred using NFT? Any amount, and even 0.001 paisa can be transferred using the NEFT service. But the minimum amount for RTGS is 2 lakhs, and minimum amount for IMPS is 1 rupee. And next, NFT maximum amount that can be transferred using NFT is 10 lakh rupees, and using RTGS we have the 500 crore rupees maximally transfer using RTGS services. And using IMPS service we can transfer only 10,000 rupees using the mobile, if you are using the mobile interface, and 2 lakh rupees if we have web enabled portal supported with IFSC. And what are the charge deducted by the bank to avail these services? Around 2.5 rupees to 25 rupees is being charged, depends on the amount transferred. And similarly, RTGS you can deduct 25 to 50 rupees to provide the service, and IMPS can charge 5 to 15 rupees. So so these are the comparisons about various digital payment options we have available. So recently committee formed by the RBI called Ratan Vatan Tata Committee that suggested that all these services, that NEFT, RTGS, IMPS, should be run 24/7 just like IMPS services. So and also these services allow participation of non-bank entity as well as to improve the innovations, but we have but the RBI have not reached to this agreement. In future this Ratan Vatan Tata Committee also suggested that why not you make a separate corporation for such services. Just we have BSNL department different from the Department of Telecommunication. So these are all about the comparison between NEFT, RTGS and IMPS. Now who developed the what kind of the service? Look at again looking at the classification. So if we look at the IMPS, that is developed by NPCI, National Payment Corporation, and RTGS, which is developed by the RBI. And again National Electronic Fund Transfer is developed by the RBI. And NASH, the National Electronic Clearing Services, this service is also developed by the NPCI, and also the NACH, that stands for National Automated Clearing House, is also developed by the NPCI. So so what is this? So we have understand the IMPS and NEFT. So what is this National Electronic Clearing Services? National Electronic Clear Services that is used in case where you want to be pay automatically debit clearing services, you can say. This form shows that your BSNL bill is automatically debited from your account to use electronic clearing services. You have to fill this form. And similarly the Reliance company is showing the auto debit form to using which can use NASH or ECS to subscribe to auto deduction services from your account. So looking at the delayed payment settlement, which is an automatic bulk payments. What is delayed settlement? Meant of automatic bulk payment, which is ECS and NASH. So what is the difference between ECS and NASH? Basically ECS is electronic clearing machine, which is developed by the RBI or maybe monitored by the RBI and local and regional bank designated, and national level pay it is monitored by the RBI. Whereas NASH economics stand for National Automated Clearing House, developed by the National Payment Corporation of India, and what are the much more integrated and diverse type of services is provided by NASH as compared to the ECS. So this includes the customer services, such as customer can automatically pay their telephone bills, electricity bills, DTH, EMI, insurance and their premium. And for the companies, NASH can be used to transfer bulk salaries, pension, dividend, bonds and interest. And for the government like organization, they can use Aadhaar enable direct benefit transfer to Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana account, and in future they use to transfer salary as according to universal basic income. So actually NACH is much more diverse than the electronic clearing system which are only used by the government organizations only, but whereas NACH is have a much diverse that can be used by customers, companies, government and various different organizations. And so we have look at the development stage of the various in 2011 the Aadhaar based bridge system is launched by Payment Corporation of India, and in 2012 they launched NACH, the National Automated Clearing House System, and in 2013 they launched Aadhaar Payment Bridge System, and with migrated to NACH platform, and in 2013 they have developed Electronic Benefit Transfer EBT system. So how NACH works, and we will look about this, how the NACH system works and the IT system behind its working. So suppose a government organization wants to transfer subsidy to their citizens. So the government department should be attached or have an account with their sponsor bank, and so government department tie up with their sponsor bank, and sponsor bank have settlement systems developed by the National Payment Corporation of India, and so it will be receive bulk posting from the government department, and using this infrastructure sponsor bank can map the account of beneficiary using NPCI mapper. Suppose if the beneficiary have account in Axis Bank, then sponsor bank transfer the detail of the beneficiary to NPCI, and NPCI mapper will be map the account using their databases and transfer the subsidy to the designation branch. Then designation branch further distribute the fund to the and intimate the fund to the beneficiary. In this way the whole NACH system works. So presentation settlement file and return settlement file. So we have studied about various digital payment system. So in this settlement system, if we see IMPS, which is developed by the NPCI, means this developed by this, and RTGS is developed by RBI, and NEFT is developed by RBI, and National Electronic Clearance ECGS NECS is developed by the RBI, but whereas NACH system is developed by the National Payment Corporation of India, National Electronic Clearing Service, and we have various card systems. So to understand what the actually the difference digital payment systems. So if we consider the example of entertainment provider, what is an consider example of entertainment system? In entertainment system we have DTH and cinema. Entertainment system consists of DTH or cable, or what can be said the television systems, and we have cinema. So the entertainment providers are heroes that can be make film for the cinema and make live shows for the TV serial as well, whereas the soap opera stars can develop entertainment episodes or entertainment series for only the TV. So in the similar way, in the digital payment system we have real time settlement or delayed settlement, and The provider of these digital payment services can be a bank or a non-bank entity. Bank entity can provide both kinds of service, real time as well as a delayed settlement, but a non-bank entity can provide only real time settlements, and using some wallets such as Paytm is an example of non-bank entity which can provide the services of electronic wallet. So this is all about the digital payment system. Let's look at the in more detail about the providers and what provider can provides in the digital payment system. So we have look at the providers are of two types, that a bank or a non-bank. Banks are, we have already know, these are financial institutions such as SBI, Bank of Baroda, Allahabad Bank, Punjab National Bank, that's all. And these provides digital payment system in the form of cards, ATMs, NEFT, RTGS, or in the form of apps and wallets or IMPS or UPIs. Whereas non-banking entities, just say that a Paytm, that is electronic Paytm providers, these can be provide digital payment system using the card network, for example MasterCard and Visa, white label ATMs, cross-border, and in the form of wallet and API and UPIs. So these are the providers and their various services in digital payment systems. So let's look at the classification given by the RBI for payment service providers, that is called PSP. The various providers, payment service providers are first one is cross-border money transfer, that is inbound, and instant money transfer, that is IMT, that is outbound services, and Clearing Corporation of India, and retail organization. So cross-border money transfer means an entity situated in India wants to transfer money in the form of remittance, that wants to send them money in India. These services are called cross-border money transfer bound. And service providers such as Western Union, and MoneyGram, what they do, they transfer money or remittances outside the India. They transfer money outside the India into the India. That's why that is inbound, means money from the nation outside the nation is transferred to India. Second, we have the instant money transfer, that you want to send money to some foreign country, then we use instant money transfer. And this service, whereas the first service, Western Union, it use if you want to money from an foreign nation, means incoming traffic, such as ePays Bank. Example of that is and ICICI Bank have make a collaboration with the Emirat Bank and form a blockchain to transfer remittances and money between India and UAE. So using blockchain technique, the transaction is more secure and there are less chances of theft and money loss or failed transaction. So another kind of services payment service provider in the financial infrastructure, such as CCIL, which is Clearing Corporation of India Limited, and which provide payment services for money market and forex or G sectors. And for the next classification is about the retail payment organization, in which only the one provider, that is called NPCI, which is National Payment Corporation of India, and it provides the services such as CTS, cash, check truncation services, NASH, and NFS, National Financial Services for the ATMs, and AEPS and IMPS and UPI. These are the services, and these all services should be registered under the Payment Settlement Act 2007. So further also we have classification, that is card payment, then wallets and ATMs. For the card payment networks, we have the 5 service providers such as American Express, MasterCard, Visa, Diners Club, and RuPay. That is the nation's own service provider developed by the NPCI. And after that we have wallet services. Wallet services are provided by various 48 wallet services are more than 48 wallet services such as Paytm, PhonePe, the Flipkart, OnePay, and Airtel Money, Vodafone, M-Pesa, Freecharge, Wiki, Cleaver, Jio Money, and Movo Money, and these are all the e-wallet services. And after that we have payment service provider in the form of ATM, and ATM services can be provided by the banks. If bank have their own ATMs and they provides the cash to the general public, then we have bank ATM. If bank outsource these ATM services, then it is called brown label ATM, and a non-bank entity collaborates with some financial institute to provide ATM services, then it is called white label ATM. So in India total 8 white label ATM service provider are there. So all these service providers must be registered under Payment and Settlement Act 2007. So we look at what are various how the ATM services work. Over the ATM we have a national financial switch. What national financial service switch works? So when we sweep our ATM in, suppose we have an Axis Bank ATM and you try to using SBI ATM machines to withdraw our money. In that case, ATM machine send our request to the national finance switch, and that switch will be access the core banking solution of Axis Bank, and fax that the detail according to credential given by the cards, and in this way the ATM will be provide the money to the customer. So NFC works over the ATM. So in this way ATMs are working, and we can use different ATM services with different card holders. So bank can be labeled as itself, or if they are outsourced, then they are called brown label ATMs, and if they are managed by or owned by the non-banking ATM, then and they operates, then it is called white label ATMs. Since non-banking entity do not have enough cash to run or operate the ATM, so they have tie-up with the bank that called the sponsor bank. And suppose a Muthoot ATM, they have the collaboration with the federal banks or tie-up with the federal banks to operate their ATM services. So in this way the non-bank entity can have tie-up with the sponsor bank to provide the banking services. Now small banks and payments banks interested to tie up since they cannot afford to run a large network on their own. So these are the 8 various brown label ATM service providers. The first one is Tata Communication, that is IndiCash, and then Muthoot Finance, Hitachi Payment Services, ASG Transix Technology Limited, BTI Payment Private Limited, Riddhi Siddhi Bullions Limited, and Shri Infrastructure Finance Limited, and Vrankangi Limited, and these are total 8 white label ATM service providers. So what are the conditions for providing the or give to provide the license? Conditions placed by the RBI to provide white label ATM services. So RBI placed the condition that if you place the one ATM white label ATM at urban site, then you in that proportion you must be placed 2 ATM over either in the semi-urban area or in a rural area. So in this way, total more over 13,000 white label ATMs are running. So in one word, in one line, we can say that white label ATMs are authorized non-bank entities under Payment and Settlement Act 2007. So come to the next subtopic, that is demonetization and automatic teller machine. So we already aware about that Modi government has announced demonetization of rupees 1,000 and 500 rupees. So this will affect the working of the automatic teller machine, since these automatic machines are configured or programmed to deliver the 1,000, 500 or 100 rupees note. So after the demonetizations, the whole machine has to change their cassettes, such as ATMs had 2 cassettes or a 4 cassette. In these cassettes, in individual cassette they store different amounts, such as they place instead of 1,000 nowadays they have 2 cassettes of 2,000, and in lower cassette they have 5, and old, in place of old 500 rupees they have new 500 rupee currency, and 100 rupee currency is the same. So these automated teller machine needs change in size of cassettes, and also they want to update their software. This whole process is called recalibration of ATM. So the ATM to successfully recalibrate the ATM, the RBI have make a task force under the command under Deputy Governor of RBI SS Mundra to recalibrate ATMs for new 500 to 1,000 rupees note. So ICI claim to first recalibrate it ATM, and in approximately 30 minutes per ATM. So now we have various ATM software, such as in the old ATMs we have Windows XP. Now also we have the company called the Vortex, which use Linux systems in ATM systems, and Vortex is an Indian company which run the ATM services, and another ATM service provider are Hitachi, which use Win7, and it is a Japanese company. Now after the short of a news that from Hitachi's network more about 3.2 million debit card information has been compromised. So in this mean, SBI, HDFC Bank, ICICI, Yes Bank and Axis banks are worst hit. So Hitachi company has removed the malwares and enhance the security in their ATM machines, and they make the whole software in India. And also CDEC has a project to use their in-house developed operating system called BOS, that is Bharat Operating System Solution, may be used in ATM in future. So next is micro ATM. What is micro ATM? If you see this machine, this is the micro ATM. It can be used as a point of sale, and it can be used point of sale, card or Aadhaar enable finger scanner to transfer the money between to settle the digital payment. Or this mini ATM can be used by bank customers, shopkeepers, and giving cash them manually. Or in budget 2017, there is 0% custom or excise duty on using these micro ATM to encourage the digital payment system. So we are continuing with the RBI's classification. We have learned the various card payment network. Basically in India, only the 5 card payment networks are. These are American Express, MasterCard, Visa, Diners Club. This is the first card payment network, and our Desi card payment system, that RuPay, that developed by NPCI. And we have wallets. Total 48 companies provide the wallet services, just as Paytm wallet that is provided by 197 company, PhonePe that provided by Flipkart, PayU, Airtel, Vodafone, M-Pesa, Freecharge, Quicklever, that is Amazon gift card, Jio Money, Mukesh Bhais, and Mobo Money, that's the Tech Mahindra. And ATMs, we have learned the banks. ATMs can be run by banks. ATM can be brown label ATM or a white label ATM. So how the digital payment these card system works. So if we have that micro ATM and need of card gateway. So if we have bank have their individual network to serve the client, then only the transaction is possible between the merchant of one bank to a customer of particular bank. But there can't be a reachability amongst the various kinds of banks. This slide shows all these. And so what the digital payment gateway provides, these gateway provides a enabled infrastructure in which merchant can transfer, merchant can accept the payment from the client holding any holding any sponsor bank, but and these services are provided by the payment gateways such as Visa, MasterCards, and those all. So to provide these services, to encourage these services, the payment gateway gives the merchant discount per transaction, whereas they charge on use of debit or credit card. So for the NPI, we have India has developed the card network system in the form of RuPay. So how the development of RuPay card, and it is launched by December 2016, and the acceptance at ATM. Firstly, in the first phase, they develop RuPay card that used for the only ATMs and micro ATMs, and in the further development, they make the card enables to accept at the debit card or payment card and accepted at point of sale services, and further they make them unable to serve at e-commerce and for virtual cards. And after that, they have embedded EMV technique and contactless technique in that RuPay card, and after that they make the RuPay as a credit card as well. So if a merchant want to accept the amount from the client which is using RuPay, so the RuPay use the payment gateway of NPCMI to service customer. So what is various payment gateway? The RuPay is seventh. It is important point that RuPay is seventh payment gateway infrastructure in the world after MasterCard, Visa card, China Union Pay, and these payment gateway use across the three different type of channel such as ATMs, point of sales, and online services. So the RuPay card is accepted at three channels, that is ATMs, point of sales, and online transactions. So to promote these services, they provide cashback, airport luggage access, and so these RuPay payment gateway are used by commercial corporations, public sector banking, private banks, and even railway and dairy are also use the RuPay gateway. And with use of the RuPay payment in Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, insurance cover of 1 lakh rupees is provided to the RuPay card holder if they use the card in for every 45 days, within every 45 days. So this slide shows the economy of credit card development in 1921. Credit card in the world came into existence. The company called Mobile Oil in the US. Then Donkey John C. Begins gives his charge. So it has some credit plans, and that is based for the consumer credit card for FMCG. So the first credit card in India is of Diners Club card, and first card by Indian Bank is with the tie-up between the Andhra Bank and the Visa, and after that the Canara has tie-up with the MasterCard to provide the credit card services, and HDFC Bank installed first ATM in India in year 1987. So these are various card techniques, and so we have now understand what are the card types. The card types may be based on their status, that their card limit, they can classify it based on their card limit. They can classify it as gold, platinum, silver, and based on ownership, they are individual or corporate. Who can issue that cards, the propriety, the bank itself, and the bank use the card payment services such as Master, Visa, RuPay card. So bank get this franchisee to use these services. So these are all about the card period. So in the credit card we have the grace period and majority issues by PVB. So in debit card we have no grace period, means if you have some amount then can you use your debit card only. So debit card includes the ATMs. Debit cards can be used at various places for various digital in various digital ecosystems such as point of sale services, online transactions, or even at your shopping marts. And these are the prepaid card. If you have have balance, then can you use for it only. So what are the various card technology? In 1960s we used magnetic strip to store the card information. Data is stored on the magnetic strip, and since data is stored in the magnetic strip, the data can be duplicated, cloned, or skinned. That leads to the fraudulent of the that leads to the fraudulent of payments. And after that the RuPay and MasterCard and Visa collaborate to form a technique called EMV, and that develop a chip infrastructure with encryption and encryption, in which an chip is placed over the card, which contain the information and a pin and a signature to access that card. So this EMV is much secure than the magnetic strip, and RBI also ordered the bank to migrate over this technique. And in EMV, contact must remain inside the terminal, and chip and pins are used. In EMV, the contactless simply tap the card on terminal, just like an RFD. So card can be based on the RFID, that is radio frequency identification. So if no power source is required, that it works in the range of 25 meter. If power source is attached, then it can be used up to the range of 100 meters. Such card can be used in logistic, on vehicle detections, toll pays, and in toll pays using ICA, FASTag, prepaid cards. And another card technique is NFC, that is near field communication technique, in which contactless payment, just as in Apple iWatch, and data share, contactless payments and data share can be possible within a few range or within a few centimeters. So that is near field communication technique. And since via the encrypted electromagnetic radio technique, the examples are Apple Pay, BHIM is not based on the near field communication technique. So we have the questions. Correct statement about near field communication. It is a contactless communication technology based on electromagnetic field. So point to be noted, based on electromagnetic field. NFC device can be used at distance of even a meter. Not, it can be used at few centimeters. NFC can use encryption while sending sensitive information. Yeah, of course. So the 2 is the wrong. So the correct answer is 1 and C only. So